Howdy, folks. I'm testing technicality because YouTube isn't showing me going yet, but we shall find out. Dag blabbit. So, here we are. Anyway, I'm the only one here on the panel. And I have to mute whatchamacallit because I'm not real organized. We have Pat H out in the chat as well as Steve Nealon. Hello, Steve Nealon. He is also one of my sponsors, harnellmedia.com, if you need a website done affordably and good communication. Sorry, I'm not good at multitasking. I had to turn off a bunch of crap. Good communication, not just a 9-to-5er, and I say that a lot because some people, once it's 9 to 5, they stop working. Hello, Austin Man Bill. By God, been a while. I am alone on the panel. We have 3 folks watching. And if there's any beginners watching, well, right now I think it's all Pat, Steve, and Billy, but that's good. Hello, Jason Rogers. Got 4 folks watching now. But if anybody at any point has any questions regarding anything, feel free to throw them out there. So just know that when I'm on the panel by myself, I can only address questions and comments when I when I look over and see them. See, I can talk. I swear I can. Glad you're still with us, Billy. By God. Now this piece is taped only because there's no areas up high or low enough in order to brad nail it together. So that was annoying me because they were apart a little bit. It's not warped wood. It's just nowhere to brad nail them up in there and up and down there. So there's that. So I'm going to get started after we babble a little bit. Whole bunch. If you like tigers and leopards, oh my, you're going to like woodenvisions.com right now, by God, because I don't remember the last time I worked on another pattern. Whole bunch of tigers, whole bunch. As far as tigers go, in my opinion, this is one of the simpler ones. So actually working on this doesn't excite me a whole lot, other than the fact that we're scrolling, because I've got much more detailed ones. But this one will work. And as soon as I get it placed with the blade through it, then you'll be able to see more of it, and we can go that route. All right, let me get stuff out of my way here, and then we'll get rolling. I already done the eyes and the mouth and the nose. This is one of those I was going to work on between scrollings, but when I stopped scrolling, I didn't go back to working on stuff between either. So this is why this one's not done, and why I got started without anybody here. So there's that. So I'm just going to pick a random spot to start. Using number 5 flat-ended spiral blade, bought through woodenteddybear.com, using a 22-inch Hegner scroll saw, and the wood is 1/4-inch maple ply, double stacked. And I believe that's the traditional quick first questions. Thank you, Billy. Says he likes it. It was not Chuck Connors, but it's still nice. Yeah, he's been trying for a while to get me to do Chuck Connors. I just haven't done it yet, as he can well tell you. Please don't hesitate with any questions, because we've all been beginners at one point. Nobody will make fun of you, or they will be shot on sight. I'm kidding. They won't be shot, but they will be banned or timed out, whatever the case may be. Depends on how severe. I'm looking for my Sharpie to make the dots where the brad nails are, because so far the only viewers are regulars, so they know what those are for. But in case there's any new viewers watching, Sharpie dots is what I call where I put a dot of a Sharpie to show where the brad nails are that are holding the stack together, so that those don't get cut till either I'm past the area or till the very end. And sometimes I don't remember where all of them are. And yes, I can see them with the naked eye, but it's quicker to just look for a black dot. Just saying. But I do that versus painter's tape around the edge, because painter's tape is only holding the edges, and I want, all of it to be flat against each other. Less fuzzies on the top one. And now that I'm looking, I can barely see any Sharpies. I mean, brad nails. Y'all know what I mean. Let me back this thing up so I can see more of it. Today is John Cousin's birthday. I don't know if we'll hear or see him or not, but I believe he's also out of town working. But it is his 49th birthday, I believe. Don't quote me on that, but I believe that's what it is. Now, there has to have been a Brad somewhere around here on the left side. Yes, there is. As I try to get around the middle of the top, bottom, and sides to evenly hold it. And I'm having to move around to see it up close. Oh, my little bald head's in y'all's way. Sorry about that. That's funner than hell. It's voluntarily bald. I shaved it because I knew y'all wanted to know that. And I know I got more Brads. I just got to figure out where they are. I really got to work on getting that bald head in the way. Work on not getting my bald head in the way. Anyway, that may be all the Brads, but there should be one somewhere in the middle. But maybe I didn't do that. And I'm considering moving my camera crane further to my right because it's so easy for me to get in the way. I mean, I won't do it now because that would take a while and it's not exciting to watch, like awesome fun of scrolling. Now, if I've missed any other ones, we'll see them eventually. I got my Sharpie within reach. Alrighty then. I don't know if we'll see. Steve Nealon's using his head. He said, "Look at the back and see." And we'll do that. Of course, I didn't make marks for them, so we'll just see as we go. But that's the back. Obviously, a lot more fibrous than the front, and I hogged out all the holes, so I have no excuses when I can't find a pilot hole. I don't know if you can see that. When I hog them out, I use a little ice pick or an awl, AWL, to make the pilot hole easier to find, especially when it's fibrous on the back of that. And I just snapped my blade. So that's a hell of a way to start. Look at that. Hadn't even started scrolling yet. And alrighty then. Welcome to a show with Charles Deering, folks. Oh no, contrary to popular belief, Charles Deering is human. He does make mistakes. Oh yes. It does happen. And yes, my baldness is shaving. My hairline is receding, but my baldness is voluntary, unless I have a thin spot in the middle of the back of my head or something. I don't know that because I don't often look at the back of my head. Y'all usually do that for me and tell me. It wasn't that kind of break, but if you want a drink, you're welcome to. Yeah, it wasn't that good of a twang, was it? But anyway, get stuff up out of my way here. Oh, and we'll try this again. One benefit to being alone on the show, and that's not to down anybody, is that I don't have to worry about it going off the rails as much, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but I can dictate what's said and what's not, and I'm definitely not iron-fisted. But if I'm in the mood to keep it all on topic, and then I can do that, and that's not in any way a hidden message to panel members or this and that. It's just I'm looking for the bright side of not having anybody on the panel here. So there's that. Hello, Mr. Chris Nealon. Not scrolling yet, but we're getting there. Doing one last look. I'm gonna get it out. Hoping I didn't miss any pilot holes, but if I did, I guarantee you, I'll hear about it. So, I did find another brad nail. I looked on the back, but I don't have marks on the back either, so I don't see them real quickly. There should be one somewhere in the center, just to keep the middle held down, but maybe not. Shame on me. Nice putty tat. Thank you very much, sir. The description of this video should have the link to this specific pattern in it, but it's called, I don't remember now, stalking tiger or tiger stalking, or I don't know what the hell it's called, but by God, it's on the website. Along with a whole bunch of other tigers and leopards, you'll find a lot of them in the category called newest. If you go to woodenvisions.com and then click on the shop tab and patterns and click on the category that says newest, and you'll find a whole bunch of tigers and leopards. Oh my. So you can't say all that without saying oh my, even though we didn't mention bears. And I do have a couple bears on there. But if you like what you see, slap a thumbs up out there. If you don't like what you see, you can give me a thumbs down, but I'd rather you just tell me what you don't like. Communication's a beautiful thing, just saying. But some people do it just to be a butt nugget. Now, 12 minutes in, I reckon we can get started. But appreciate everybody taking the time to drop by. Yay, we started. Yay. My phone gave me a notification that there's actually a tornado watch in my area, and it doesn't even act like it's wanting to get tornadic. But, yeah, you know how weather can be. But I'm here for the people, so rain, snow, sleet, hail, tornadoes, I'll be here. That's ironic that I say that because, well, conditions I'll be here. It's just here lately I took a 11-day break from doing live streams, and that was just bad timing on my sleep schedule, dealing with pain, going to doctors and crap, and so I apologize for that. But in general, and I know I do more live streams in the making community than in any other channel. I'm not saying I'm the best channel out there. By God, if you like scrolling and you like having fun, and when you have a sense of humor, come on over. I will never claim to be the best scroller, best designer, or best show. I just have fun with it and been told this is the best live stream show, but I'm inclined to go with the lovers instead of the haters. And yes, I'm babbling. And after this, occasionally I'll stop a cut that takes a while in order to acknowledge comments and questions. Hello, JJE. Like I just did. So there we go. We didn't miss any comments that I'm aware of. And for a while there, anytime I would see a picture of a tiger or a leopard, I'm jumping subject here, I know that never happens. And I said, well, I got a whole bunch of those on the side, I don't need any more. But then I just saw a couple good pictures, and when I see a good picture, I cannot ignore it. I have to make a pattern out of it. And then I found more and more and more, and I was doing a whole bunch of tigers, and then somebody said something about a leopard, and I said, what the heck, let's try it. And I found a whole bunch of pictures there. And got me started there. Between the two, I think tigers look cooler, but they're both fun to design. But as far as a designing and artistic look at it. I'm going to go ahead and turn off the camera to, not turn off the camera. It's a microphone, genius. Hello, Larry. Okay, just as an example, if you ever wanted to draw your own tiger or leopard or anything, hello, Jason Rishola. And this goes for a simple tiger or a complex tiger or leopard, whatever the case may be. Take in mind, in my humble opinion, nothing I say is intended to ever be arrogant. I can't stand arrogance. But anyway, as far as tigers go, the ones I've done, this is relatively simple, but take in mind that I don't just, I'm trying to think of how to word it. I know I'm keeping you on the edge of your chair, ain't I? I don't just scribble in lines. Because the whole time you're doing it, even if you do it quickly and try to somewhat simply, you're still keeping in mind the direction of the hairs. That's why you'll never see one of my leopard or tigers with real basic shapes, because they're going to be very jagged, even the spots on a leopard, because those spots are on hair, or they're made up of, black hair. I don't know what a naked leopard would look like. Maybe it has spots there too, but so that's why on tigers and leopards and stuff, on the leopards, if you look up close, pretty much every spot will be jagged, because it's all on hair. Now, on the longer hair, you'll see the longer jagged edges. I don't know the terms I need to be using here, but so if you're going to ever start drawing your own patterns, even if they're simple, go with jagged lines on a tiger, and where the long hairs are, make them longer jagged lines. Where the short lines are, they can be much tighter, jagged. If you want me to give you a visual, I can, but there's not really much else I can do besides a pictorial form of what I just said. But tigers have longer hair than leopards as far as the majority of their coat. So that's why you see such big jagged lines. So hopefully that explains something to somebody. And Chris Nealon says, have you ever made a pattern and came to learn you already made one from that photo? Yes, I have, many times. Kind of like reading the same book twice by accident or starting to watch a movie twice. Yes, I have. But every now and then I'll look at one of my old patterns and laugh at myself. And I was saying this the other day, I never like to sound arrogant, and I'm always afraid of sounding arrogant. That's why I always talk about I'm not arrogant. Not in my opinion anyway. But my old patterns were laughable, and I feel like for some reason lately I've just suddenly gotten better, in my humble opinion. And thank you, Steve Nealon. Says that actually makes sense. A lot, Charlie. A lot of sense, Charlie. Reason why I read comments out loud, even though they replay on the live streams, is some people listen to the shows. And so if I can say something verbally that teaches or helps, then by God. And if I had a leopard sitting here, I could give you an example there. But speaking of that, the little bit I just gave you as far as advice and how to make a little more realistic, I do have 6 downloadable videos on woodenvision.com that show how I make my patterns. And one of them has to do with short-haired animals and contour and this and that, and it mentions that specifically. And I believe it's a leopard on the picture. I don't remember if it's a leopard or a cheetah. But on woodenvisions.com, you'll find 6 downloadable videos. One is about vehicles. One's about a basic portrait. One's about facial hair. 2 of them are about horses. And that one I just told you about. Short-haired contour, blah, blah, blah. But yeah, paying attention to the direction of the hair on any animal will make it look more realistic. So, yeah. And I don't want to scribble all over this, and I think I pretty much made it clear, but just going to pick a random spot. And I'm doing this real lightly, so I'll move the camera in because I don't want to have to bear down with sandpaper. If I just, did this for a tiger stripe, it may look like a tiger stripe. Let me know if y'all can't see that. It may look like a tiger stripe, but there's no jagged lines to it. So you don't, it'll work as a simple pattern, but it just simply, rather than making wavy lines, make them jagged, and boom, that would look like a tiger stripe more so than it does if it does. And thank you, JJE. Hit that thumbs up, by golly. And Larry says he's watching Charleston Forged in Fire. I'm living dangerous. Yeah, buddy, this is a dangerous show here. So yeah, I hope that visual representation gave an example. Now on like a, let's call it a cheetah spot. You know, obviously you can go like this for a cheetah spot, but if you go like this, it looks more realistic because it's a spot on hair. If anybody can't see those, I can zoom in. But that's the reason why I'm bringing this up, because even with less detail, you can still make it look more realistic. And I don't, because I do these things so often, I don't always think of what a new person would want to know, to learn. So that's why I encourage questions, because I don't always think of what a beginner would want to know, or even somebody that's not a beginner. So y'all let me know. John Bradley, hello. He says, good day, everybody. Glad to be here. Glad to have you here, sir. All right. So I hope that made sense. Steve Nealon said it did. But if y'all have any more questions, I don't mind stopping scrolling to answer them, because, you know, that's how people learn. This show isn't just all balloons and parties, by God. Every now and then, I can be mature. Yeah. That's a stretch, I know, but by God, work with me. But I hope that made sense. But I go on my teaching videos. I rarely compliment myself, but I will say on my instructional videos, I try to be what I want in a teacher, because I cannot stand seeing a video on YouTube called how to such and such, and then they just sit there and do something. No, that's not teaching. Some people can learn by watching, but my way of teaching, you're saying why you're doing something. You're changing your mind in real time, saying why you changed your time. Every decision on all these downloadable instructional videos on how to make your own patterns, you're hearing every thought I have as to why I changed my mind, when I changed my mind, why I'm making the decision I'm making, because and the reason why, like I just explained that. Because I cannot stand when somebody says how to do something and they're not telling you how to do anything. They're just showing you. Oh God, I'm one of these people. I gotta flat out hear it and figure it out, and that's how I try to teach. I've never been asked to teach. No, I maybe have a couple times, but anyway, I try to be a very thorough teacher. So that's why I've never had a quick teaching video. Hello, Tom Tango Parker. All right, so wow, that's way too long to be mature that long, but it does happen. Take a drag off my stogie and we'll get going again. Larry says they're just making a video, Charles. I hate that crap too. By God, I'm telling you. It's fun to teach if you know what you're talking about. And not very many areas, and I'm not dogging myself, but the areas I do know, I want to teach other people. Now, in the past, I said something about more people need to be out there teaching and sharing how they do what they do, but that wasn't really fair to other people. I just think it's a good thing. But some people have what they call trade secrets, and they want to protect those, and I respect that. At the time, I didn't understand it, but I do. So some people are like me, and they just hoard patterns. I mean, I have a whole bunch of patterns that aren't mine. When it comes to the live streams, I prefer cutting my own most of the time. I'm a little bit biased. And it's funny, for those of you that follow me on Facebook, and if you don't, just look up the Charles Deering on Facebook. It's a picture of me in a black cowboy hat and sunglasses pointing at you. It's funny how and I don't even think it's intentional, me and Russ Beard seem to feed off of each other on pattern topics. I mean, like his latest pattern he's working on, just finished a German Shepherd, and he's working on, I believe, a gray parrot. I could be wrong. But aside from that, me and him both jump back and forth doing cats. And neither one of us owe anything to each other, but just flat out respect, and just I'm not going to call him a lifelong friend. We barely know each other, but he seems to be a great guy, and we've talked a few times. And I wrote to him because he used to do a lot of leopards while I was doing tigers. And I wrote to him saying, I just want you to know I'm not looking to step on any toes, but I found a whole bunch of leopard pictures I liked. And I knew he would be civil about it because, you know, he doesn't own the leopard name. there was no doubt in my mind he'd be civil about it, and I didn't owe him an explanation. I just wanted to give credit where credit was due because that was kind of his thing. Not all. That's definitely not all he does. But it's funny. People may think that designers are snobby about their own patterns, but I've bought other patterns. Russ Beard has bought a handful or more of my patterns, and that's flattering when another designer that has his name out there is buying patterns from me. So thank you, Russ, and everybody else that buys from me. Dave Helmanson bought a bunch today. I hope that wasn't private. And I sort of felt the need to, for lack of a better word, defend myself on Facebook, telling people, I know I'm on a tiger kick. I'm well aware that I've done a whole bunch, but that's one of my favorite themes to do is wildcats because there's so much detail screaming to be out there. And me and Steve Nealon were talking today about it, and it's one of the few pattern themes that as soon as it's designed, somebody will buy it. Not in every case, but Russ Beard is usually the quickest purchaser of these tiger patterns. Ironic. I mean, we like making patterns, but I can't speak for him as to what inspires him to buy. And I'm babbling because I don't like dead air. And as soon as this cut's done, I'll look and see if we have any comments or questions, and I'll acknowledge. And I probably shouldn't have started naming names about who's buying patterns because I don't want to forget anybody. But I can consistently thank Steve Nealon that I have a website and that my brain cells finally work together to help with the upload process, so he doesn't have to do every little bit of it. But it does suck when it's like 3 in the morning and I have a pattern ready to go on the website. And can you believe that guy's sleeping at 3 in the morning? Can you believe that? So I gotta wait. That's the next step I'm looking to learn, is to not have to rely on him for that. But he's got a bunch of stuff going on, a whole bunch of websites and other businesses. So there's that. Now let's see if we got any comments I missed. If you like doing cats, how about a pattern of a Tasmanian tiger? I'll consider it. I'd have to look at it first. Jason Rogers says, this pattern is gold. Great design. Thank you, sir. Morris, time for Den Den. Remember those commercials? I don't remember if it was, well, it wasn't Frisky Whiskers or whatever the hell it was it? I know it was a cat food. Mm-hmm. That was my impression of him enjoying his food. I'm totally bombing that. And what else do we see? Jason Chuck, you a good teacher. Thank you, sir. Jason Rogers, best scroller teacher I know. By God, who's paying y'all? I'm kidding. No, I appreciate it, folks. I do my best, but sometimes I miss the mark. Meow Mix. Yeah, it might have been Meow Mix. No, that was the meow, 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 meow. Don't make me start singing that because if that gets stuck in my head, we're all dead. So there's that. We got 17 people watching. Please do not hold back if you have any questions. I don't mind repeating myself because, not everybody's here for every minute of the live streams. I am, even though I've been accused of not being all here. All right, let's start another cut. Now, when I am by myself, I do a lot of babbling just to keep dead air from happening. But I do encourage comments and questions, as you well know. And figuring out where I want to go next. Let's just randomly go on the outside here. And for some reason, I do prefer to do designs where there's not a background. I'm not saying that I'm upset that there's a background on here, but I have found, for me, I like the look of ones without backgrounds, but this one clearly has a background. And what I mean by background, I don't mean pictorial background. I mean the fact that there's wood around the tiger. It's not the tiger and then empty space and then a border. That's what I meant by that. Larry says, I'm about ready to quit trying to make my own patterns. I love scrolling, but seems later design has skipped my range of thought. By God. I hear you. I can't do anything other than design, dagnabbit, and that and sleep and eat and stuff. And doctor appointments. Chris Neal and I'm extremely allergic to cats, and we have a neighborhood cat that is trying very hard to come and live in my house. Oh dear. Oh, Jason Rogers says Morris the cat was 9 lives. Oh, okay. All right. Trip down memory lane, by God. All right, now we know. So if you're like me and would have been sweating all night trying to, oh, what the heck was that product? And there it is. No, I wouldn't be sweating all night over cat food. That was just a little joke there. We try to do humor in these parts. Try is the key word. And the official drink of Charles during live streams, not sponsored by him, is Dr. Pepper. But y'all take a drink. By God, let's celebrate the fact that you're breathing and able to watch this. I'm sorry, I had to think of something that made hear, hear. Yeah, there's that. Ugh. Okay. Let's do the side. Now it's completely right side up to y'all, but I'm right here, so it's sideways to me, but that's all right. I do it for the people. Doesn't feel like my tension's up high enough, but it might be. I might have just tightened it a little too much, but we'll see. And for those that don't know, when you stack cut, it will go a little bit slower than one layer because you're cutting thicker wood, and that goes slower. Now, people used to always give me hell for scrolling slow, but I don't think I'm that slow. I just think they have fun being me. Hurt my little feelings, and I don't know why. Sorry. Get it together, Charlie. Now in this area is single line cut, so you're going to see me doing those slow because I want the jagged edges not to be rounded because they're hair. So you'll see I'm intentionally doing those slow. There's not a waste side, so on single line cuts like this, I am trying to go on the line, or at least near it. It's really weird being on topic consistently like this. And it's very rare that I do single line cuts like this. That's not intentional. I think the only other single line cuts are going to be other examples like that. I don't know if you can see it, but like right there on the leg, but that's not going to be difficult. But the whiskers are the scary ones because, if you get a jagged line in a whisker, it's going to stick out like a sore whisker. Sorry, that was very cornily funny. Cornily is going to be a Charlie word. But yeah, we know on a whisker, you don't see jagged lines unless they got some kind of weird condition going on. That's another example of the difference of having a background or not having a background, like around the whiskers. The whiskers would be made of wood. These are where they're cut out of the wood. So there's that. Let me scroll back. Make sure I don't miss any comments. Souped up house cat on steroids, aka Bobcat too, by golly, says Larry. Jason Rogers, thank you for stat cutting. You will thank yourself later. Oh, yeah. I should have done that with some past ones, but I didn't. Pawing at a bass fish. Alrighty. Billy says, you're the flash at scrolling compared to me. LOL. Hello, Shelly. Midnight Scroller. Her and John Cousins do teaching every other Saturday. If there's interest, you can get more details at inspiredbyshaley.com or whatificouldscroll.com. And that's also where you can sign up. It's only $10 per person. By God, get on over there, support your community, and learn something if you so desire. Or just ask questions, and by God, I'll see what I can do. And hello, Shadley Lou. She's probably, if I know her, she's might be scrolling while she's listening or chatting. All right, I will check right back with you. We have 16 people watching. Please don't hold back if you have any comments or questions, because on this channel, every voice is important, except for the ones that aren't. That sounded really contradictory, but by God. Point is I know that I wouldn't be on YouTube or wouldn't enjoy it as much with y'all not being here, so that's why I only do live streams now, because I like the real-time interaction and banter back and forth. And by God, this is only 251 live streams, so I need to, apparently I'm slacking. Why is my window unit not coming on? It's on, it just won't cycle on. That's weird. I need somebody to answer that for me, please. Or in her car, that's true. Yeah. Shaylee, we're inquiring minds. What are you doing right now? That was stupid. Alrighty then. Y'all don't hold back if you got any questions, by golly. I can only think of so much, but you know me, I'll try to. Yep, saying she pretty much lives in her car. I thought I forgot a pilot hole, but it was right there at the end. Whew! Y'all thought Charlie would forget the pilot hole. Come on now. All right, we're going to do us a straight line whisker here, and that always gets a little scary. Not that scary, but yeah. She's working on a pattern. It was a long day at work. I hear you. Steve Nealon says, I would assume she is watching you babble, Charlie. Kiss my hind parts, Mr. Nealon. Well, yeah, I gather she's watching, but some people listen. But while you're chatting, you kind of have to see the keyboard and maybe the camera to type. But yeah, it's, hush. Now, what I mean by a whisker being scary is what I said earlier. If you're working on a whisker and you even bump it the slightest bit or your blade breaks, you're going to get a jagged line. You don't want a jagged line in your whisker because it'll stick out. But here's hoping. I'm going to take a drag off my unlucky cigarette. All right, and I have to sit off to the side because the piece is a little too long. The back of the saw is right there, so I can't have the piece completely sideways to do that visual comfort thing I talk about. So I'm off to the side right here so I can push it away from me that way to where that whisker line is somewhat coming right at me, if that makes any sense. Good Lord, look at that belly. Holy hell, that's a lot of Dr. Pepper right there. Sorry y'all had to see that. Oh my gosh, lap cam. Working on the pad. Okay, everybody's saying hi to each other. I don't see Midnight. Oh, Midnight Scroller, not Midnight Joker. All right, see. Okay, Charlie, get it together, dude. All right. 1,900, I believe, 12 patterns now on woodenvisions.com, maybe one or two less than that. It was 1908 before I started uploading today, so 8 plus 4, 19, 11, 12. Yeah, that's Sesame Street for today, by God. 1,912 patterns up on woodenvisions.com. As well as caps, t-shirts, coffee cups, and neck gaiter, the instructional videos, ebooks. 14 ebooks. Just saying. It's like, on average, 6 patterns each. I'm going to do the body of this cut first, and then we'll come in and do that whisker last. Shayla made me spend $272 on books. What I mean by that is I can't remember if it's called chat books or what, but she went to a website, got pictures of her work put into a little book, and I went and did the same thing. There's like, on average, 4 pictures per page, but I wanted one for each sibling in my family and my parents and my household. So that was 5 books times 31 pages came out. It was $51 per book, so it's kind of like trying to be a fancy portfolio / brochure without any words in it. It's a picture book. So yeah, she showed me the site, and dag blabbit, I went broke. Not completely broke. Hello, Midnight Joker and her pooper. By God. So yeah, those are supposed to be in on the original shipping said the 29th. Now it's changed to the 27th. So on the 27th, I'll be showing off this pretty little book. Let's do this here whisker and hope the blade don't break. We don't want the blade to break because as it's going up and down as I turn the saw off, it would create a little divot in the whisker, and we don't want that. But let's say I went off the line in the whisker. If I did, you slowly come back to it. Otherwise, it'll be a jagged line, and we don't want that on a whisker. I believe we've been over this. If you would pay attention, come on now. It's still slightly wavier than I would like, but there's worse problems to have in this world. Looks like a whisker to me, by God. And if you don't like it, I don't know how to follow that up. Hope I heard her. I'm going to say hope I heard you're feeling better. I meant to say Herb, I hope you're feeling okay, because, Herb's usually our regular in here, but he might have been getting some actual sleep, and it's never a requirement to be here. But at least he's in the chat, and I hope he's doing all right. This is one of the rare panel list shows. It's not intentional. It just kind of worked out, but it's not the end of the world, because here I am. We got 17 people watching. I'm talking, and some folks are listening, by God. If you like what you see, slap on that thumbs up. If you don't like what you see, talk to me. Tell me what you don't like, and we'll work on it if it's something that should be addressed. Just saying. If you think I'm ugly or not funny, I can't really help you there. Prior engagement says Herb. That makes sense. Well, I hope you're having fun or whatever the case may be. Herb. Awesome. And Billy says, why did you say I missed it? What did you say? I missed everything after hello, everyone, and Charles during LOL. Well, that's a nice try there, Sparky, because I can't remember half of what I said. Shaylee says, it works good. You got 18 watching. You're doing great. Oh, thank you. Oh, my God. That's so great. Sorry. I got a little excited. Sorry. Stop rolling your eyes at me, Steve Nealon. I know he's rolling his eyes at me. My God, that guy's tore up. But by God, it's intentional. Now, to celebrate my goofiness, let's take a drink, and then we'll get back to the scrolling. Don't you worry. And I assure you, folks, if you have any comments or questions, do not hesitate. Even if I've said it 20 times, I'll say it 21 times. Jason says, you just need to sing to us a little bit. There's times I would have. But right this second, I ain't feeling musical. It's not that I don't want to please the folks. It's just, there's that. Herb saying hi, Bill. That's where it all started out. Hello, Josh Grover. He says he sees a kitty cat. I did. Never mind. There's that. Appreciate you being here, Josh. But this is to prove that it is capable it is possible to do a show without a panel. It's not my top choice, but by God, I get to control everything. So if I can't keep myself in control, then that's when this probably be the funniest. But at least I'm not going to go Charles, like surprise myself that I said something. But we do have 18 people watching. Uh, all right, people are talking to each other in the chat, so we're going to do a few more whiskers. For some reason, this tiger had more than one whisker, and I don't know why. But I'm not paid to know why. I'm just paid to scroll. No, I'm not. But we're going to scroll anyway. And since we got more people watching, if you like tigers or leopards, the category that says newest, or you can just look under the appropriate category, cats, animals, whatever. You find a whole bunch of tigers and leopards. But don't you worry, if you don't like tigers and leopards, I do have other patterns. 1,912 patterns on woodenvision.com. Why did I turn the saw off? Because I'm not done. We got some whiskers here. Dag blabbit. Hello, Dave Helmison. He bought a whole bunch of patterns from me today. By God, I appreciate you, sir. And I missed a comment because I see the tail end of it. What did you do to scare off the panel? I just told them I was rough and tough and stuff, and they went yapping off like little chihuahuas. Larry says it amazes me how we can chat all the way around the world with each other. Yeah, buddy. Yeah, every now and then it's just a good thing, unless it's somebody you can't stand. But these things happen, and got 19 people watching. We try to acknowledge every comment and question. I can't always do it in real time because I'm scrolling, but by God, I don't mind stopping as much as I need to either explain something, show something, or just talk. But I'm going to get back to this scrolling, and don't you worry about interrupting me because I can do more than one thing at once sometimes. Except laundry. Sorry, babe, if you're listening. I'm not a fan of laundry. I don't know anybody that loves it. Did you hear that? I was quiet for like 5 seconds in a row. Wow. That's got to be a record of some kind. I was talking earlier about my preference of thin wood over thick wood. Some people will cut out of slabs of wood, and that's definitely thick. To me, that would take too long. Of course, there's a lot of people that won't scroll because it'll take too long. My patterns, anyway. Now, I'm going to go a little off this line intentionally because I didn't draw it in there right. So now I'm going to have to stand over the drawn line so people think, my God, that dude can't stay on the line. It was sitting there randomly. For some reason, I didn't draw it coming out of where it was designed to be coming out of. So I decided to cut it the way it should have been looking. And you're allowed to do that. Patterns are a suggestion. If you don't want this many whiskers, don't cut as many. Just saying. A lot of people unintentionally feel obligated to stay with every line they say, and that's not a bad habit to have. But, if you want your animal or person to have two eyes, some lines you got to pay attention to. Stuff like hair, there's not a certain shape to hair, so, if you want to be a rebel and make your own hairs, you will not be sued for it. Little joke there. Now, some of the regular viewers may remember I was doing a fishing scene a while back, and the one area I didn't want the blade to break was that fishing line because, it was a single line cut like this is, but it was completely straight. And guess when the blade broke? Right in the middle of that line. That made me want to throw a party, I tell you what. All right, let's catch up on them comments there. Shark attack, alrighty. Midnight Joker, did the source image have a background? I don't remember, sir. If it did, it wasn't exciting enough to use, in my humble opinion. Yeah, I won't save it. Whiskers look long. Yeah, they do have pretty long whiskers. Not whiskers, really, Charlie? Really? Now, I don't know if this is fact or not, but I heard cat whiskers are the width of their body, because if their whiskers hit an opening, the sides of an opening, that tells them that they're getting close to their limit of what they can squeeze through. And that's mainly with house cats. I heard that, but I'm pretty sure it's not elemental. Come on, Charlie. Universal. I think that's what the whiskers help. Because if their whiskers bump into something, that means they're a little bit limited getting through it, even though the whiskers are flexible and so are their bodies. But I don't remember if it had had a background on the whatchamacallit. 3/8 or half-inch hardwood's my favorite, but cut 3/4 and it just took too long. I hear you. That's what Dave Helmanson said. I'm the same way. I prefer to get done quicker. Although I could be cutting 1/8-inch wood, but matter of fact, I should be cutting 1/8-inch wood. I could stack cut, a lot of pieces that way. But anyway, Awesome Man says, hell, I add and subtract things from patterns sometimes when I cut them. So do I. But don't tell nobody. It's our little secret. Larry says, I'm still working on that pattern, Charles. A big one on the line. All right, good deal. Good luck with that. Appreciate y'all. I think we're caught up. Unless somebody jumps in another comment. We have 18 people watching. There goes another comment. I'm about half done. 10-4 sounds good. Well, sometimes, unfortunately, we got to live life in between our scrollings. Life should be scrolling. But I expect it could get a little boring after a while. All right. And I did not think to measure this piece. Excuse me. I almost choked on my air. Whew. Not hair, air. Anyway, Shaylee says, I still don't like the stack cut. Yeah, the benefit to stack cutting is you're getting 2 pieces or more for the time it takes to get one done. Or, okay, slightly slower because it is thicker, but yeah, I can see why somebody would want a stack cut. And I was going to say something else, and I don't remember what the heck it was. Does anybody else remember? Oh, I was going to measure the piece. That's what it was. Because I know you're on the edge of your seats. Oh my God, how big is this? Well, let's find out. Such and such, and take 2 tick marks. That was a little joke. Come on now. It is right at 23 7/8. Dang it, we didn't quite make it to 24. 23 7/8 by 18.5. So almost 18 by 24, so we'll call it that. Now we don't have to sweat anymore. We know what size it is. Oh, yeah, I was choking on my whiskers. John's right. Josh, not John. Dag Blabbit. But by the way, I repeat, if anybody didn't know it, today is John Cousin's birthday. So if you're connected with him in any way, write to him and say, happy birthday. I want to spank you. Now, I don't particularly want to spank him because, there's just some things a feller don't do. But some fellers do that. So y'all tell him happy birthday. He's 49 years old. He's older than dirt, I'm telling you. It's funny, the last 2 live streams, I was dying for the chat and the panel to talk, and here I am talking my hind end off by myself, and the chat's being active. It's like, oh my God, what happened? A new dimension or something. new reality, whatever the case is. I don't know what words are. Don't make me talk. Now, some of tiger and leopard and other cat pictures, their whiskers are all kinds of crisscrossy, and those are hard to make patterns out of because, at least this time, where the cut line is a whisker, because you can't cut every single crisscross or the piece will fall into a million pieces unless you're making the whiskers out of wood. This is being cut from the wood. But if the whiskers are made of wood, you can crisscross 50,000 of them. But I don't particularly want to do that. But that being said, most of my tiger and leopard and other cat pictures are wooden whiskers, not cut whiskers. Now, those are scary to cut, but they're fun. It's also a bragging right once you've done it. Looky there. You see them little whiskers? That kills an ordinary man. Unless you're a woman, you know. You might want to change that to woman or you sound kind of weird. Unless you're against men. But that, if you are, that's on you. Just saying. Just saying. Now, these whiskers are out in the middle of nothing. These whiskers here are overlapping his front leg, which is walking. So they're going to look slightly different. So in most cases, what I'm doing here, you'll see, I made lines on either side of the whiskers. So they look thicker, but it should all kind of equal out. Okay, let me catch up on the comments here. Yeah, Night Joker says, I don't think I've ever cut anything thinner than 3/4 inch on my scroll saw, except for router patterns. Sounds good. So cool, Tiger. Thank you, Jason. Josh says, do I get a prize? I guess the size is 18 by 24 when you were getting your tape based on how it sits on the saw. Let me think about that. No, you don't, but congratulations. Shaylee says, he is officially 10 years older than me. I'm using that now. And Shaylee says she mainly does 1/8 inch. Yeah, 1/8 inch you can cut if you wanted to. You could stack cut like 4 or 5 of them, and if it's like Baltic birch or whatever, it'd go pretty quickly. Aussie man says, where did I go? I didn't see Herb saying he had to go. Oh, the comments jumped ahead on me. Aussie man says 1/2 inch is about the thinnest and just over 2 inches was my thickest. Googly moogly. I don't believe I like it that thick. Harnell Media, just don't remind me of that Shay, since he is a lot younger than I am. Jason Rogers, Karen says, hello, Charles. Hello, my sweet love. Inside, I was going to say inside joke, but it's not a joke. Hello, my sweet, precious angel. Anyway, Herb Hooper says, okay, folks, y'all, nice evening. By the way, I quit. All right, love you too, Herb. And, by God, you have a nice evening too. If you change your mind, come on back, Cletus. Herb does hold the record for the most time he's quit, so there's that. All right, so everybody's saying good night to Herb. And where you got 19 people watching, if you have any comments, questions, suggestions, inquiries, or complaints, by God, talk to me. We'll see if we can work it out. Because I don't know about other men and women, but I can't read mine. So if y'all have any questions, chunk them on out there. I might be able to help you. If not, I'll guide you to who can. And a lot of times people out in the chat can help. Y'all made my stogie go out while I was busy leveling. All right. Where do I want to go next? Let's just do the chin here. We'll just go around, by golly. That's what we're going to do. I wonder what made Herb quit this time. Yeah. See how quiet it got? That's why I babble. Y'all might be thinking, that was kind of nice having all that quiet. No. Dead air is a sin on this show. Look at that. Looks just like hair, doesn't it? I'm just kidding. Shaylee says, be back. Need to start a load of laundry. All right. We'll sure miss you, ma'am. I have to watch my unmentionables. Not watch. Wash. Come on, Charlie. If you're going to be funny, talk normal. That's a good thing I don't talk to myself. Dude, yes you do. Don't tell people that. They're going to think you're being serious. Well, they wouldn't have known anything. You hadn't said anything. See, I'm having a fight with myself. Who do you want to win? See, they can't all be winners. Not everything I say is funny. Sorry. At least I'm trying. Oh, I got issues, but I don't care. I'm having fun. Just saying. Looky there. Those look like hairs too. So far, we're doing all right. And Billy says it's not dead. It's the scroll. It's not dead air. The scroll saw it singing to us the whole time. That's true. That's true. See, there was my obligatory camera crane bump. I do need to move this thing a little further to the side because it's always in my freaking way. Now I would show it to y'all, but it's on the crane. Camera's on the crane. Well, you know what? Let's change the pace here. I'll unscrew it from the camera and I'll show everybody how my camera crane works. Yay, because that's exciting. This is now the shop in my floor is wooden, so when I use the saw, it vibrates. A tripod. So this is why I have the camera crane. I did not make it, but I wish I had. All right. The camera crane is just two of these screwed to the ceiling. It's a very low ceiling in my shop. And then I'm holding a webcam here, by the way. Then it has this high-tech looking hooser deal. And it has an arm. And when that arm starts getting weak and the bolts won't hold, we use a clamp. And it has a little platform here that I can adjust like so. And this is where the webcam installs. And it's usually point right at the work. If anybody wants me to re-show that, let me know. But yeah, this is how I'm able to film from up over everything, because if I had a tripod and had the camera on there, it would be looking like this because I have a wooden floor in my shop. Now, got to put this thing back in because y'all just had to see how it looked. And I'll get to the comments as soon as I tighten this. A former friend of mine named Russ Clarity made these for me, camera cranes, but I paid for them. And if I was an engineer minded, I would make little changes about it, but I'm not. But I know no matter what little hardware accessories I've tried, I cannot get the stupid bolts to bite in. They still want to spin. I've used all kinds of things to trying to keep it from slipping, but that's why the clamp is where the arms intersect because it will not stay. So there's that. Awesome Man says, "Wow, field trip of the shop." That was sort of a low budget field trip, but right now it's filthy. I know that's a shock, but there's our camera crane, and by God, there's our tiger. I remember that tiger. We're gonna go back to it as soon as I take another swig of my favorite drink. Don't hold back if you got any questions now, dag blabbit. And I don't have anybody here to tell me if the camera goes to crap, so y'all let me know that. Larry says he's got to head out. Appreciate you being here, Larry. Jason says that's why back in the day the roller skating rink hung the audio equipment from the ceiling. I did not know that. Good to know. All right. Well, that and if they put it on the floor, it'd kind of be in the way. Just throwing that out there. Just saying. A bunch of skaters would be bumping into the dang audio equipment. That'd be silly. Can't be having that. Come on, that was a little bit funny. Dag blabbit. My cousin got a concussion at a skating rink once. He was looking around as he was going towards the wall. Didn't see the wall. Turned around just in time to say hi, wall, and fell flat on his back. Busted his head on the floor. All right, so that's my skating story. I never was a real talented skater. I know that probably comes as a shock to nobody. But I'm definitely a skateboarder. I'm the kind who sits on it, what they call Indian style, and just pushes like this. Because you know that's a skater right there. I tell you what, I was rough and tough and stuff. Oh, so the CDs wouldn't skip. Yeah, well, back before that, they probably had records, and yeah, I hear you. I guess that's okay. That makes sense. I used to be a DJ at a skating rink. That was fun. I used to be a DJ at two different bars. I was mainly a bouncer, but I was a backup DJ. But that's kind of cool. We set the tempo literally of the whole club. Just saying. And so far, I don't mind doing what you call it, a live stream by myself on the panel. It's kind of neat in a way, but the drawback is the time goes by slow. So I got to do more to make it feel like I've done more, which call me Captain Obvious. Sometimes the time flies while we're doing this. Of course, I say that and I haven't even looked at the clock yet, but I have a feeling we haven't been here too long, have we? No, only been here a little over an hour. Dag, blab it. All right, the chin is officially done, but we do have some specks on the bottom lip here, or bottom lip area. If y'all want a better camera angle, let me know, and I'll talk to the producer. Awesome Man says, I've never been on skates in my life. Don't like pain. Hello. That's pretty funny there. Yeah. Yeah, the falling part is what hurts. And blisters if you're not a good skater, and that's where I got them blisters. Not them blisters, that sounded kind of gross. But anyway. Yep, I got an old skating injury. I've already cut there. I don't have an old skating injury. That was just me trying to be funny. I can't believe I've only been here an hour. It feels like I've been here 2 or 3. Dag blab it. Dag blab it is my official hardcore cuss word. So get you a Dag blab it t-shirt or cap today. Steve Combs has one. Just saying. Arnell Media says falling doesn't hurt, landing does. Yeah, we were kind of on the same page there, which is rare. Jason says most wood floors or suspension floors, floaters above the ground. If someone jumped or fell, it would mess up. It would mess up the music. So if it was hung, it wouldn't happen. Understood. It's a sudden stopping that hurts. Yeah, we're all kind of on the same page, by God. Well, sudden if you're lucky, because not everybody stops suddenly, but when they want to. But then the girl, that little girl with the pigtails, and this is as a child. This is not a pedophile discussion, because there's not a lot of adults in a skating rink. But anyway, you're a teenager over there, and you see that little girl in pigtails. You've been staring at her all night, and then you realize you can't skate, and you're coming right at her at 90 miles an hour, and you can't stop. And that does not make for a good first impression if you squish her. Just saying. That's just a hunch. Don't ask me how I know that. I'm still paying on that lawsuit. That's a joke. Come on, Cletus. That girl was in a body cast for 3 weeks. I'm making all this up, but by God, it's funny. Isn't violence funny? Come on, people. Don't overread what I'm saying. Good God. If any part of you got offended on there, you probably need to go hug your pillow or something. Here in these parts, we have humor and we use it. Doesn't always work, but by God, better than being a butt nugget. Just throwing that out there. All right. Well, thank you for the time, Jason. I had no clocks near me, and I was wondering what time is it right now. So I appreciate that. Except it's an hour ahead for me. But anyway, Bill, awesome man, Bill, just like the guy who jumped off a building who kept saying, "So far, so good." All right, so everybody's telling what time it is. I'm glad we all got functioning clocks. That's good to know. By God, I was worried. I sure wish I knew what temperature it was where Jason is. Wow, I hope he'll tell us. Will he? He might. Jason, please tell us the temperature, but please say it in Celsius so I won't know what the hell it means. Oh, I'm a butt nugget. So there's that. Got 15 folks watching. Come on now. I know somebody's out there that's got a question that I don't want to ask. They'll think I'm stupid. No, nobody here will make you feel stupid. They'll make me feel stupid, but they won't make you feel stupid. Come on, Cletus. That's not where I wanted to go. It's all got to be cut, but it's still not where I wanted to go. I want to get these whiskers out of the way. Gosh, Grover says I'll have functioning clocks, but none are right time. Well, 1:12 p.m. Thursday here says, awesome man, yeah, he's like a whole bunch of hours ahead of us. Almost shop time for him. Say he's going to abandon us. Everybody say no. 9:14 here says JJE, 34 degrees. Hell, it's like 70 something here. I don't have my near me, my phone to see the temperature. See, everybody talking about the time, but I rely on my phone for the time or my computer, and so I don't wear a watch. And I don't have a thermometer. I know it's thermometer. I'm trying to talk funny. Come on. So I just peek and say, well, I wonder what the temperature is. But I'm not hot and I'm not cold, so works for me. It's probably about 70-ish. All right. Oh, this man says I can't help. Sorry, I like doing more than watching. Amen. I hear you. That's in Wisconsin, says JJE. All right, I'm in Gatesville, Texas. Wisconsin's a little colder out there, way up north, right next to Michigan. I tell you what, Wisconsin, the Green Bay Packers over there. All right, let's take a drink, celebrate whatever the hell the fact that you're breathing. That sounds good to me. All right, there's our weather report from old Jason. It is 8 Celsius, warm, cloudy day in Calgary, Alberta, Canada. All righty. Thank you for letting us know that. I was powerful worried about it. All right. And right before the show went live, my phone told me, or I got a notification saying Gatesville's in a tornado watch. And it's like, hell, it wasn't even damp outside. Of course, before a tornado, it can get dead quiet and nothing's happening. Just saying. So if I get blown away while we're strolling, by God, I'd die doing what I love. Alone, but doing what I love. Well, not really alone, because I got you. Aww. And people be thinking, man, that's some good special effects. How did he do that? How did he levitate like that? Nope, that wasn't technology, folks. That was a tornado blew me out my chair there. Yeah. All right, y'all got quiet on me now. So like I said, we got 1,912 patterns on woodenvisions.com, 14 ebooks, 6 instructional videos tell you how to make your own patterns, caps, t-shirts, coffee cup, neck gaiter. And if you're just one of those folks that wants to give back but can't find anything you want to get, there's a donate button, I believe, on every page of the website. If you're so inclined, it's never required, but always appreciated. All right. Oh. Awesome Man says, I actually like these live streams with very few or no panel members. It's more intermittent for us chat people. More. I don't know what he means with that word. It's more. I don't know, but he probably means chat's more involved, and I agree. Because to me, it's about the chat people. But yeah, the panel can get chaotic, and that's pretty much on any show, but especially this one. Midnight Joker. Have you come across Antofret scroll work? It's where pieces are cut out with a bevel and raised and lowered from the main panel to create an illusion of relief. Most people call those relief cuts. I don't have any personally, not as necessarily fretwork, but Sheila Landry has a few of those. SheilaLandryDesigns.com. Hello, why am I saying hello, Josh? Josh is leaving us. Good night, Josh. Appreciate you driving by. But yeah, that's often referred to as relief cuts. Here in the U.S., or some people do that and they call it self-framing, whether it's rectangular or whatever shape. But yeah, it's where you cut part of it and then you push it part way back and glue it into place. And by God, and sometimes it's snug enough you don't need to glue it, but glue never hurts. But I have never done that, but I've heard of it. And what Billy meant was close and personal. I agree, Aussie Man. That's why I like live streams over project videos because it's real time interaction and it feels more personal. But yeah, I can see why. I definitely tonight have seen the benefits of not having a panel, and that doesn't mean I don't like my panel or don't want a panel. It just means I've seen the benefit of not having it because it's all about me and the chat. Go to your room, Jason. All right. See, I was the first person who got in trouble tonight. Dang, nabbit. Well, the drawback to, and I know people say, well, it's your channel, do what you want, but drawback to that is a lot of the viewers like a lot of the panel members. And those panel members, a lot of them don't do shows or project videos and stuff like that. So they come here to interact with them or other live stream shows. So to completely cut it off would be easier said than done. And even reducing the panel members can help at times, but picking which panel members to use was difficult because, you like them all, and this and that and blah, blah, blah stank. So there's that. And Billy says, that's it, you got it, Charles. Thank you. I used both my brain cells to go with that, by God. But I thought doing this thing alone tonight would be kind of hard, but no, it's actually not. I kind of like it in a way. Don't tell the other fellers I said that. It's got its benefits. Most definitely. Sorry, just stretching my face. It just sometimes has sound effects. All right, we're going to get right back on it. If anybody's just joining us, we're using number 5 flat-ended spiral blades by Flying Dutchman. I buy them through woodandteddybear.com. Stack cutting 2 pieces of 1/4-inch maple ply, and we're using a 22-inch Heckner scroll saw. I just have a Lexan table over the top of it. Oh, ow. Ow. Bumped right into that camera crane, by God. I agree. Hernell Media, and thank you for your feedback on that. What do you mean that's a good one, Shaylee? But thank you. If I said something funny, I don't know what you mean. What's a good one? Nothing wrong with it at all. I agree. I hate to say it, but yeah, every now and then without a panel, it's kind of great. But one of them's my brother, and that goes without saying because I love him. One of them's Herb, and he's a crowd favorite. Billy hasn't been around lately, but so there's that. Russ Meadows is a crowd favorite. Who else? Steve Combs is loyal. I just don't want to alienate anybody, but I think deep down people would understand. It just sucks because my brother and I don't get out of the house much, so that's kind of the way my brother and I can relate to him because we think alike and we are alike. We're even twins. Just saying, but it's it's easier said than done. 99% of people would be understanding if I started doing it without a panel. But yeah, stretching your face and sound effects. Thank you, ma'am. And welcome back, Shay. I hope the laundry's going well. And I don't think I'll completely give up panels. But if I'm going to reduce the panel, I don't even know who to have on the reduced panel, dagnabbit. Or it'd be easy to say alternate, but, dagblabbit. I'm friends with all of them, dagblabbit. All right, let's see if we can scroll with sound effects now. Come on, Cletus. Some of them sound effects are going to sound just like my voice. That took years of practice to do that. Now, this particular cut has 2 whiskers that are very, very close together, and they meet like this, so it's going to be a little scary. So I'm going to go down the far side first. This would kill 10 ordinary men, but I'm far from ordinary, folks. It'd also be a booger of a time for the blade to break. Alright, now this next cut determines if we break it or not. But we won't break it because we're professionals here, aren't we? Looky there. That's Skinning or Skeeter's wiener right there. Sorry, folks, if that was offensive, but it was mainly funny. Not that I've seen a Skeeter's wiener, but I expect it's pretty skinny. Shut up, Charlie, dude. You're digging a hole here. All right, we did it. We survived. We're cool. See, I don't need any help derailing myself. Oh Lord, I got issues, but that's all right. Looky there. That's just powerful cool right there. Billy says the trouble with watching lots of Life Keeps. I think Life keeps getting in the way, like work, sleep, shop time. LOL. I agree. Harnell Media says you shouldn't remove the panel. Just do some shows like this and some that are a party. Party! Herb, if there's more to that, talk to me because, I'm not implying nothing. Because you'd be at the top of the list, but I don't want you to feel obligated either. But now I'm feeling awkward because I don't know what direction your brain's going, and I don't want to be wrong. Jason says, friends, we can always hang out live chat without the live shows. I totally agree. Harnell Media, welcome back, Herb. That way you don't have to choose. No, it's not like that, Herb. It's, because, and I think most people know this, Herb, you're kind of a unintentional first choice sidekick. That's sort of been going around for a while. So, but if there's any part of you that is getting tired of being on panels, I'll take that into account. But it's not that much of a struggle to choose, and because I think 99%, if not 100% of the people around would understand reducing the panel, or the occasional show of not having one. But I can't tell you how to feel about doing it. But if you like doing the panels, you're one of my top choices, if not the top choice. Just saying. Now I need to know how you mean that, Herb, when you say it's time for me to step aside. Because you're a crowd favorite and you're one of my favorites, so there's that. So I don't want to make you say too much publicly. But if you're saying that on your own, so I don't know. But when it comes to, I only want one panel member today. It would be you 9/10 of the time, unless there's a part of you that doesn't want to do it, and that's what I'm trying to establish. That's where my confusion is, so bear with me. I feel the same way, Aussie man. Yeah, gotta have the LOLs, Herb. And I don't want to guilt you into anything, Herb, but you are my top choice if I only have one person on the panel with me. So if that guilts you into it or influences you, by God, I hope that helped. But I don't want you to also hold back if you just tired of being on the panel. But by God, I want you here. So let's take us a drink. We'll get back to scrolling, not because I'm blowing off Herb, it's because I want to, we got to scroll here too. But by God, Herb, don't you run off too far, mister. But if you're starting to go into depression, I can relate to that too. I'm sorry if I'm overreading that. But, talk to me, Bubba. Yeah, see, Harnell Me says you'd be his first choice too. All right, Herb, we can talk about it in more detail if you want to. I won't force it. I do, and I don't mind saying this publicly. I adore the hell out of you. You're one of my best friends. So, if there's any part of you that can be convinced to be a fixture on my panel when I have a panel, then I am requesting that. But I'm also not pretending to be blind that something's going wrong with you right now, mentally and or physically. But we could talk about it off the air. But I adore you, love you like a brother. Oh, God. Sorry. But as you well know, Herb, you can talk to me about anything and it'll stay with me. But anyway, I don't want to say too much because that would defeat the purpose of saying you can talk to me. Blah, 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 blah. But write to me privately, Herb, if you don't mind, if there's something I'm not seeing or hearing. But I'm going to scroll and check back in with comments and questions. Hope y'all don't mind. And I'm not trying to call you out, but if depression is any part of it, I can relate to that. And most people that know me know that. I tend to hole up and hide when I'm depressed. I guess I'm a little bit biased because I like you. I don't want you to hide. All right. Understood, understood. I've never been one to force people, at least not intentionally, but we love you, Herb. That should be a given, but in case you didn't know. Oh, lordy, lordy, lordy. All right. What the hell do I talk about? I don't know why, but my gut says, let's go ahead and end this here live stream. And I'm not going to blame anybody. It has nothing to do with anybody. I just feel like, my inside gut says, let's go ahead and end this here live stream. It seems like it's run its course for the night, but it doesn't mean all of them will be this short. But appreciate everybody that dropped by, took the time to be here, and sorry for making you the focus of the attention, Herb, but we love you like a brother. Whatever works best for you, I shall respect. But we're all here if you need us, and that goes to anybody listening. But if you're not subscribed, please consider clicking on subscribe, click on the bell, and click on the word all to get all notifications. Thank you, Steve Nealon. And I hope you'll come back. Sometimes the show is more fun, sometimes it's less fun, but most of the time it's just flat fun. But if you like what you saw, slap a thumbs up out there. If you didn't, let's talk. See how we can make the show better. You don't just have to slap a thumbs down because feedback matters to me. Appreciate everybody dropping by, and in the meantime, see if I can point without looking. Scroll on.